Imagine a mouth-watering pile of fluffy Cracker Barrel pancakes sitting right in front of you. What could possibly be better than that? Keep watching to find out. There's not much to recommend about the biscuit breakfast sandwich on the kids' menu. The kid-sized biscuit was drier than the chain's normally great biscuits. The small sausage patty was also dry and tasteless, and the small pile of scrambled eggs on the side was hard and unappetizing. The best things on the plate were the tater rounds. Sadly, they arrived at the table cold, which diminished their craveability significantly. Ultimately, there are plenty of better choices for breakfast at Cracker Barrel. This combo is similar to the old-timers breakfast, except that it comes with either chicken tenders or country fried steak instead of sausage or bacon. Either way, the meat is slathered in Cracker Barrel's thick sawmill gravy. This meal was one of the biggest disappointments of the morning. The scrambled eggs were dry and unappetizing, and the meat on the side didn't compensate. We opted for the country fried steak, which was a mistake. The outside was golden and crispy and relatively nice looking, but the inside was an ugly shade of gray. The meat seemed more like a burger patty than an actual piece of steak, and one bite had a large piece of gristle in it. It was edible while it was hot, but quickly turned gross as it cooled down. You can order meat biscuits individually or order a combo. We went with country ham inside our biscuits, but you can also get them with sausage patties. It's one of Cracker Barrel's simplest menu items, consisting of one slice of meat inside a split biscuit with no other toppings. This basic relies on the quality of its individual components, which were pretty good in this case. The biscuit was predictably great, and the ham was solid as well. Cracker Barrel's country ham is presented in a classic Southern style, which made it a little too firm. Essentially, it had been griddled until dry and leathery. Still, the meat biscuits were a totally acceptable breakfast. This dish turns Cracker Barrel's famous loaded Hashbrown casserole into finger food. The interior of a Cracker Barrel tot is silky, dense, and heavy, quite unlike the fluffy insides of a standard tot. The outside is crispy, but doesn't develop the deep crunch you'd expect. The ranch, bacon, and cheese garnish was delicious. The only strike against it was insufficient topping distribution, which was all concentrated on the top of the dish. Once the cheese started to cool down and congeal, it was tough to construct perfect bites. If you're expecting the classic New Orleans-style French donuts piled high with powdered sugar like you'd get at Café Du Monde, you'll be disappointed by Cracker Barrel's Biscuit Beignets. When appreciated on their own merits, however, they're a tasty snack that straddles the line between breakfast food and dessert. The beignets at Cracker Barrel are little triangles of fried biscuit dough that are dusted with cinnamon sugar and served with a cup of caramel sauce. The inside is a little drier and denser than a traditional New Orleans beignet, but the outside gets nice and crispy. The biscuit dough isn't very sweet on its own, so the sugar levels of this dish are surprisingly restrained. You'll definitely want to share these with at least one friend, as they're pretty heavy. It would be hard to finish an order on your own. This combo comes with 2 eggs, grits, choice of meat, and either fried apples or cheesy Hashbrown casserole. Like most of the savory breakfast combos at Cracker Barrel, you also get biscuits, gravy, jam, and butter on the side. We ordered it with sunny-side-up eggs, bacon, and Hashbrown casserole. The eggs were perfectly cooked, avoiding the slimy, raw egg whites that plague substandard breakfast restaurants. The thick sliced bacon didn't seem that thick to us, and it could have been crispier, but it tasted good. The grits surpassed most restaurant grits, which tend to be undercooked and underseasoned. The cheesy Hashbrown casserole lacked crispiness, but its flavor was awesome. Cracker Barrel excels at sweet breakfast items, and the pancakes were no exception. The 3 buttermilk pancakes were delicious, with a pleasant tang from the buttermilk. They come with a generous dollop of wet butter on top, which was readily soaked up. We were impressed with Cracker Barrel's maple syrup, which is a blend of 55% real maple syrup and 45% cane syrup. It was a significant improvement over the flavored corn syrup served at most chain breakfast restaurants. The rest of this combo wasn't as good as the pancakes, though. The scrambled eggs had clearly spent some time under a heat lamp, and the breakfast sausage was just all right. Those pancakes, though.
Pancakes! Pancakes!
No pancakes.
Pancakes!
No pancakes!
First, Cracker Barrel's biscuits are stellar. The biscuits we ate tasted fresh from the oven, and they hit the perfect balance between soft, fluffy, and crispy. The sawmill gravy served on the side was disconcertingly thick, almost the texture of mashed potatoes. It had a mild dairy sweetness that was offset by little crumbles of sausage and cracked black pepper. You can order the biscuits and gravy on their own, though they also come with many of the chain's signature meals. If sawmill gravy isn't your thing, you can also eat the biscuits with butter and fruit jam. We recommend you do. Bottom line, this was one of the tastiest things we ate. It's basically a big skillet full of breakfast. The bottom layer is Cracker Barrel's ever-reliable cheesy Hashbrown casserole, which then gets topped with even more cheese, eggs, bacon bits, fried onions, chopped tomatoes, and scallions. Unlike the skimpy bacon crumbles on the loaded tots, the bacon on this dish is thick-cut and substantial. Delicious. The French toast was even better than the pancakes. One order gets you 4 pieces of Cracker Barrel's house sourdough dipped in egg batter and griddled to order. Like the pancakes, they come with an ample amount of butter slathered on top as well as the chain's delicious syrup blend. The sourdough made for a welcome twist on the classic French toast formula, adding a hint of acidity that cut through the sugar and fat. The egg batter totally saturated the pieces of bread, keeping them nice and moist in the middle and forming a crispy crust on the exterior. If maple syrup isn't your thing, you can substitute it with blueberry syrup or sweet fruit toppings like country peach and cinnamon spiced apple. However you order it, it's a total win. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite restaurant chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.